Hello there, everybody. I hope your Sunday is going well. I wanted to show you a really simple technique through which you can learn some pretty interesting things about an individual just from a quick glance at the horoscope. And this is from the Jaimini School of Astrology, but it's really simple to integrate this particular technique. I also wanted to let you know that I have a special consultation slash courses offer open, which basically, if you schedule any consultation with me, you'll gain access to my courses membership for a specific number of time. My courses membership has 300 plus hours of Vedic astrology video courses. Plus, as a member, you have the capacity to attend my weekly live webinar courses, just as being part of a member. So here's how it works. If you schedule my $40 consultation, which is a simple ask me a question consultation, you get 1 year of membership to my courses community. If you schedule in my simple astrology session, which is $99, you get 2 years of my courses community. And if you schedule any consultation, $149 or above, or a consultation package, you get a lifetime membership. So you get access to courses for a really long period of time, regardless of which of those options that you choose, simply for scheduling a consultation. So you get the best of both worlds, really. And here's how you can take advantage of that through the link above. So in astrology, in Vedic astrology, there are things that are called Karakas. Karakas basically mean, Karaka means producer. So basically what this relates to is how the planet is a producer of a specific thing in a person's life. Most of us are familiar with this from astrology through understanding that Venus can be connected to relationships for an individual, regardless of whether it's a man or a woman. Jupiter can be connected to the spouse, especially for a woman. Jupiter can be connected to children, and so many different things like that. But everybody also has a special, unique system of karakas that is determined by the degree that a planet occupies within a person's horoscope. We're not going to go into the confusing part of that today. We're just going to cover the simple part of it and how you can learn some pretty interesting things about the people or situations in an individual's life. I'm going to go into sharing my screen with you, so it may bounce up and down here just a little bit, and I'm going to warn you in advance, just so you're not going, "Ooh, what happened there?" Right? Let's kind of go in, and actually, what I'm going to do is get rid of the video over in the corner. No, we can keep that there. Let's keep that there, even though it's tiny. Okay, let's just move that there. Perfect. And I'll get my little pointing tool out as well, just so we can point to things for you. Let's see if I can move this out of the way. Great. Okay, so if you look here, you'll see this row, right, where the red dot is moving, and you'll see AK, AMK, BK, MK, PUK, PIK, GK, DK. I'm going to explain briefly what these are. And also, you can go and cast your own chart if you wish at a link that I'm going to point to just above. I use the South Indian chart. I know some of you use North Indian, but it's just easier from the perspective of this video, but I'll explain things as we go along. So, Atmakaraka is the self-indicator, but it can also be an indicator of career for the individual. Okay, I'm just going to give you some simple understandings of this. A Machakaraka is the person's, or I should say, are the person, or I should, oh, that's correct. I'm getting all grammatically particular here. Sorry about that. The Atmakaraka is also the person's friends and advisors, things along those lines. Like if a person was going through a legal case, the Amachakaraka would be the person's lawyer. But the Amachakaraka also deals with resources, so it deals with money as well. Then you have the Karaka, which is the indicator of the person's siblings, right? But it's also people the person associates with, and sometimes you'll find it connected to more distant connections that aren't friendships. And it's also a travel indicator. Okay. Then you have the Matrukaraka Putrakaraka. Matrukaraka is the mother indicator, but this can also be an indicator of other fourth house matters like home. Putrakaraka is children, but it can also be the indicator of other fifth house matters like education, speculation, etc. Pitrakaraka is the can be the person's father. Okay, but occasionally you'll see it also connected to when legal matters are surfacing, ninth house related matters, but not every ninth house related matter would be indicated through the Pitrakaraka, mainly just father influence in addition to legal related factors. Then you have the Natikaraka, which is distant relatives, but it's also those things and situations that cause obstructions and difficulties and delays in our life. And then you have the Dharakaraka, which is the relationship indicator. Okay, so here's are some simple techniques just to kind of give you an idea. If we look at this chart, we'll see this person's Dharakaraka is Mars. Okay, so what that lets us know is the spouse is going to have some Martian related aspects to them. The person may desire people who are a lot more physically attractive or athletically active. That's one simple way of understanding it. But we can also take that a step further and we can understand by another system of astrology that Mars is an indicator of siblings. So the person may have a very friendly type connection with their spouse, almost brotherly, sisterly, that type of a connection going on with their spouse just by simply having Mars as the Dharakaraka. We can also understand some simple things about the person's career. Venus is a career indicator, can be a person who's a teacher, someone who likes to give people experiences. So we might simply guess that this person is a teacher. That's just a simple way of doing it. And then when we look, we'll see Venus is debilitated, and we might learn that, they don't really like their job. By a similar token, since Venus is a relationship indicator as well, in everybody's charts, we can know that there's a big connection between spouse and the person's career. The person might not like their spouse's job. These are just some simple things that we can tell through looking at the horoscope. And for instance, if we look at this person's BK, which is the Bhatrakaraka or a sibling indicator, we see that that's Saturn. So the person's siblings can have a bit of an authoritative role in the person's life, right? Or their siblings can be a source of difficulty for them. Saturn's also the elder, so this person may only have one sibling, which is an elder sibling, right? In addition to that, Jupiter we know in everybody's chart to be an indicator of children. Since Jupiter's the Amachyakaraka here, the person may gain through their children. These are just some simple things that you can understand through the chart. We can also learn that this person may gain money through advising people, right? We see Venus is the Atmakaraka. Venus is an advisor. Jupiter is the Amachyakaraka. Jupiter is also an advisor. So this person may earn money by advising people in specific matters. And these are really simple techniques that are really easy to learn, really easy to integrate, and exceptionally accurate. I want to go into another one that I kind of brought up here. In this one, I brought up the North-South Indian chart for you so everybody can see, but I know that my head's in the way over here too. Here's a really good example that I like using in a lot of instances. Let's bring up the pointer. There we go. In this person's chart, you'll see the Nati Karaka. So if we remember, the Nati Karaka can be an indicator of distant relatives, but in addition to that, it can be an indicator of it can be an indicator of things that cause obstruction or delays in the person's life. So in this person's chart, what we see is that Venus is the third lord and the 10th lord. What this lets us know, because Venus rules the career house, and Venus is also the Natikaraka, is the fact that the person's career, they can have problems with their career just by that very simple concept. They can also have a sibling who is somewhat inimical with them, and that sibling can be, a really perhaps a little more proud, because Venus can be a very pride planet, or that sibling can be very focused on material enrichment. These are just some simple things that you can see in the person's chart. Mercury is a natural artist. So what we can see is this person's relationship partner might be artistic by nature. And in addition to that, because Mercury rules the second and the 11th houses, which are the financial houses, their spouse and the fact that their spouse is an artist can be a source of gains in their lives. So these are just some really simple concepts. I didn't want to go too into depth with it, but I'll kind of lay it out for you again here at the end of this video. But I just wanted to make this short and sweet and share with you a really simple concept if you can understand. So you can look at the houses that a planet rules. So for instance, if we're looking at the Atma Karaka, we see the sun rules the first house, right? So this person may naturally flow as themselves into their career. Their career is a natural extension of themselves, right? Moon is the Amachakaraka, which can be friends. This person may have friends that nobody knows about that are behind the scenes a little bit more, or people that advise them from behind the scenes. Amachakaraka is also things that we gain from. So this person may gain through 12th house related matters. They may work in a laboratory, for instance, or they might be someone who works at a 12th house related factor, like a prison or something like that. That would usually probably be more of a Mars related factor. In addition to that, we can go, Mars here is the Brahtrakaraka. So we know this person's siblings are going to be very Martian. They're going to be very active. They're going to be very straightforward, right? Because that's how Mars is. But we also know, because Mars rules the fourth and the ninth houses, that the person's mother will be the same way, right? So these are just some simple ways that you can gain information about a person through their horoscope just by looking at the Jaimini Karakas. And I do want to share with you here at the end of the video, if you want to dive in more deeply, I share a lot of this information on my courses in a much more in-depth manner. And I have a very special offer at present where if you schedule any of my consultations, you're going to get a free membership to my courses. So I'll explain that once again to you. For just scheduling a $40 consultation, which is an ask me one question consultation, then you're going to get 1 year of membership to my courses community. And remember, my courses community has 300 plus hours of video courses. And in addition to that, you can attend, so get language right here one day, attend my weekly webinar sessions as well. Okay, so for scheduling a $40 consultation, you get a 1 year membership. $99 consultation will get you 2 years of membership, plus you get the consultation too. And any consultation or consultation package, $149 or above, will get you a lifetime membership to my courses community. So you get to have a consultation and learn astrology as well. You get the best of both worlds, and you can do that simply through scheduling with me just above. Thank you so much for watching this brief video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave your comments down in the comments section. I love reading your comments and replying to your comments. Please also subscribe if you haven't done so already. Tick the notification bell so you can be notified every time I do a new video. Thank you so much for watching today. And please, as always, take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.